Hi everybody, welcome to Cod Fresh. This is my recipe for homemade suet. I did include some coconut oil for its anti-inflammatory properties, and I also am going to add some oregano and some cayenne pepper to help with circulation and for the antimicrobial properties. I also had some dehydrated cranberries I'd made in my dehydrator that I was going to add, as well as some black oil sunflower seeds, some scratch, and some whole corn. It also had cornmeal, chunky peanut butter, regular flour. And these are just some cheap containers I picked up at the dollar store to put the suet blocks in. And this is my bubbling bucket of beef suet that I picked up at the grocery store. I had 6 packages. They ranged in price from 65 cents to $1. It actually took quite a while for this to render down over low heat. You don't want it to scorch. At one point I ended up taking my immersion blender and using that to sort of zhuzh it up and speed the process along. It took about 4 hours for it to melt to a point where I was ready to use it, and I ended up with about 10 cups of beef fat. I also threw in some garlic cloves that I had that were on their way out and starting to sprout. And here I am ready to get things going. Okay, so at this point the Trader Joe's peanut butter was pretty separated, so I was trying to get that mushed up. In the background you can see I have my fodder ready to go out to the chickens the next morning. Here I've got all of my trays lined up ready to go. I've got my peanut butter in here sort of in a melted state along with my melted coconut oil, and I just kind of got that stirred up ready to go. And I would say I used about 2 cups of peanut butter, and this is 3 teaspoons of cayenne and 3 teaspoons. And again, I had my cornmeal and my AP flour, my scratch, my dried cranberries, and this was after I had zhuzhed the suet. Straining it was a messy process. I just kind of ladled it back and forth, and it is hot, so be careful. So I really didn't film myself doing that because I didn't want to burn, drop anything. So I sped up the mixing process, and I just kind of added a little bit at a time. It ended up being about a 1-to-1 ratio of rendered fat to solids. So I had 10 cups of beef fat. I ended up doing about 4 cups of the corn flour and 4 cups of the white AP flour, and then 2 cups of add-ins, which were the scratch, black oil, sunflower seeds, and cranberries. And it kind of gets to a soupy, semi-thick consistency, I guess like melted peanut butter. And I wasn't quite sure how this was going to solidify, but it did solidify brick hard. Almost kind of like a fudge consistency if you've ever made fudge. So here it is, all done up, and you can see it's sort of runny, but you can tell there's solids in it. So then I went ahead and I ended up putting about 4 cups in each one of these containers. It basically filled it to the top. At the bottom of the big bowl there was some sediment from the natural Trader Joe's peanut butter that had kind of separated out again. So I just kind of scooped that up and added it. You see it's kind of thick and runny, so I added that. There they are, all filled up. And then I cut them into halves, and I put them into the suet container and out for the girls. The rest are stacked up and stored in the garage for the rest of the winter. And a couple of days we'll see how they like them, but I think it's going to be a good thing.